Yo, this is sick. What the hell? Alright, now let me share this with the camera. You see what this looks like? It's a whole room. It's like custom speakers, it's like custom made, it's like a whole suite and everything. My name's Seth, and today I'm talking about things I learnt from film school. I've made a little presentation for everyone, and don't worry, you don't have to bring your own presentation. I just wanted to say that this is a very cool room, a very cool space, and thank you for the school for, I don't know if they're actually letting me do this. Let's start off with some about me things. So, full disclaimer, I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys. Okay, so here's a little bit about me, right? My name is Seth, and I don't want to brag, but I love school. I love school so much. It is so fun. I graduated last year, and I don't want to brag, but I'm a little bit of a YouTuber. I'm kidding, okay. Full disclaimer, and I mean this like wholeheartedly, this is how much of the course that we're supposed to be, that we're doing right now, right? This whole thing is half of a semester, and I've only done one half of one semester. So I'm not exactly the most qualified person. And this isn't even film school, it's a degree of communications, right? So it's like how we use the internet to connect with people. If you are okay with all of this lying, let me just tell you something. Subscribe. It's pretty fun, it's pretty cool. If you don't like what I'm doing, you don't have to like it, you know what I mean? I'm literally making this video because I have nothing else edited. I want to be straight up honest with you. University is way better than high school, and I'm saying that because in university, the lectures are pre-recorded. You can watch them at any time, and the travel distance is so much more manageable. Instead of having to wake up at 6 o'clock, I can literally wake up at like 9-10 p.m. and still make it on time to class, you know what I mean? But I know what you're thinking, right? What about your friends, Seth? Well, friends, yeah. So I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys. This might shock a lot of you guys, but in high school, I wasn't exactly, a model citizen. Who am I kidding? My high school experience was kind of terrible. I moved schools and I was locked down for 2 years. I also made a bunch of terrible, shitty choices, and I had to live with them for 2 years. Also, yeah, you know what I mean? High school isn't exactly the most forgiving place. But now I'm in uni. I moved to a university where no one else I know goes to it, you know what I mean? And it's really cool, okay? So I basically have a clean slate. I can, learn from all my mistakes, not mess them up again. But also uniquely, oh god, that sounds pretty lonely. Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. I actually have friends. Yeah, I'm not lying or anything. Check this out. A little collage with like all my friends. Like this is my good friend Anthony, all the little hearts. This is Tarun, Daniel, Malachi, Richard, Henry. This is for my birthday actually. This is kind of old. These are from last year. It doesn't really fit my case, but I'm close with all of these guys. Basically, with my old friends, yeah, I still meet and talk to them all the time, and I can go out with them anytime I want. Let's say if our schedules lined up. If our schedules line up, you know what I mean? And even so, I've met new friends, made new friends, and yeah, even though it's only semester 1, it's so much fun. Okay, so enough about that, right? Class. In our class, we have to do like a cornerstone lecture. For me, it's called Media 1, right? It's worth 2 times the amount all my other classes are worth. And the workshops for the physical classes are 3 hours long. They're 3 hours long. It's massive, right? And in that class, I have to make one video, one piece of content. I have to make another graded video every 2 weeks. And on top of that, I have a YouTube channel. Yeah, so I'm basically making 3 to 4 videos a week. Yeah. It is pretty chaotic, I'm not gonna lie. At first, the jump was pretty insane, but then I learned how to do it. I learned how to make good videos, right? The solution? Editing, okay. The motto for our media cohort is making media that thinks. So one thing I realized is as long as you're filming something with intent or purpose, it doesn't really matter, right? Unless you're like trying to show it off. It's okay to make things and fail. I think when I made videos for my channel, I was too scared to make them because if they flopped, I would still have to upload them anyway. But now that I'm making these new prompt pieces, I can practice skills in ways that I've never done before. Also, shout out, this is from a thumbnail. It's really cool. Yeah. There's also another story, right? So, for example, take this picture of Theo. Theo is my dog. Very, very cute. Very, very amazing. Look at him. And he is a lawyer. He loves taxes so much. This photo by itself is just a pretty good photo, right? You know, it's a little bit bright. You can't really see it. But what if I told you that Theo eats kids? That would completely change the context of this video. Because you thought that someone who ate kids looked cute. And I think that reflects on you. What I'm trying to get at is a piece of media is so much more than what it is, you know. It's the reactions that it inspires, not in like a provocative clout chaser way, but a piece can be simply constructed and produce a whirlwind of emotions, you know what I mean? And I think as long as you're practicing that skill, you'll get it. And I think that's where quality lies. It's a little bit sappy, but I know. There's also the other side of things. Simply put, organization is key. So I don't just do media. I have 2 other classes, right? And I have all these assignments and all these other video projects that are due. And I knew that, right? So coming into this year, I made a massive spreadsheet. I don't know if you can really see this with all the saturation and stuff, but anyway, these are like the dates things are due. These are what they are, and these are like easily accessible check points that I can just click into and access. The reason why it's on a Google document is because I can access it on my phone. You know, I'm doing it, right? Look, in the media, there's a surprising amount of reading, okay? You don't just have to know things, right? You have to know, you have to understand what things are. You have to read a lot. The more you read, the more context you have, the better you are, the better chance you have of, you know, understanding a concept, right? And the more crazy things you can attempt. This is gonna sound very like maybe biased or what's the word, but I personally think that this is one subject where you can get away with not reading anything. But if you do, you're not gonna learn a lot. The more you read, the more you'll expose yourself to like new ideas. Media, at its core, when you're not making stuff, is a discussion-based subject. It's a study of institutions and art, yes, but it's a study on how people perceive and understand this art, and you need to know those theories to participate. Okay, so here's a different class, pop culture in everyday life. I'm gonna go on a little tangent because this is one of my favorite classes. So we have 2 readings here. I don't know if you can see them. Okay, wait, you can't see them. Okay, so what I'm saying is, you have 2 readings, one here, and these are academic publications, right? They're 20 pages long, they're stacked, and you have all these other classes, all these other units here. Popular culture in everyday life is a class that taught me that media is more than a video, and media, whether it's made for fun or not, has ideologies always imprinted in it, you know what I mean? So, for example, we learned about, in other words, a piece of media is perfectly representative of, you know, the views and values of the creator, and the views and values of the time, whether you want it to or not. Like, if you take a Snapchat story, that's saying something about you. You know what I mean? Like, as long as you're participating, you're delivering information. And here are some keywords. Number 1, semiotics. This is the study of signs and symbols, right? For like dog whistles and shit, and how signs produce meaning. So if I go, you will know that that is offensive because that has been ingrained in our popular culture in everyday life. I don't know. There's this thing called the audience commodity, which is the buying power of the audience. So advertisers look at audiences in terms of making money, right? And all audiences have the potential to watch ads. So audience commodity is being able to sell audiences to those ads, if that makes sense, like advertising agencies. Okay, I've read a lot of Marxist theory, a surprising amount. This is my favorite little image. It's a little sketch that I drew, but it explains everything pretty well, in that no matter what you're making, it represents what succeeds. Art is representative of the system that you are in, because if you want to succeed, you need to make good things, but what is good is determined by the system that you're in. So, for example, if you want to get rich and famous, you have to make something that's really catchy and watchable, but that leads to, you know, not as experimental pieces of art. You know, you get more commodified things. You can't really blow up doing niche shit. Okay, something like that. This is what the notes look like for my classes. So it's semiotics, then there's cancel culture and censorship, all that boring shit, you know. Okay, my final class is simple, right? It's Beyond the Frame. Beyond the Frame is pretty goddamn hype, I'm not gonna lie. Basically, we're able to watch movies whenever the hell we want, wherever the hell we want. And I don't know, between this and my media class and my pop culture class, I have to read like 80 pages a week minimum. I think 120 is the most I've had to read. So Beyond the Frame is studying the institutions that change media. So for example, Jet Li Hero was released by Quentin Tarantino. I don't know who that is. I have nothing in common with that man. The Matrix, and then we have this gay Indian film called Fire. It's actually pretty good. Basically, we look at the institutions surrounding the release of these films, the production of these films, and so we see like the different era and progression of things. This is one of the first classes I got really invested in. We watched this movie called All That Heavens Allows. It's basically trippy, like it's all like colorful and shit, and it's called like a chrono drama. We learned that this film was made like before color was, before people started using color in live action films, default in an organized way. This film makes it trippy. There's like all these arguments about elitism, the thought that color will taint our perception of reality or something like that. It's really, I don't know how to describe it, it's fun. I've learned a lot of weird shit from film school, right? Like a lot of random shit. Basically, everything I've learned now is sort of like establishing, like I'm not building off concepts that I don't already understand, right? And I think that's the best way to learn media, just to practice and do things. But practical questions, this is very important. Will I get a job? My goal to after the degree, I think I will remain unemployed. I'm so scared. I'm gonna try to get a car and then go to official internships to build my media CV. But I'm so dead. I actually think I'm gonna be unemployed. Please subscribe, please. Oh my god, yep. Okay. And that's it. Madness, you are a bitch. Madness, you are a bitch. You can't deny, you can describe. Madness, you are a bitch.